All right. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Get set up real quick. Bro, why doesn't it save it? Of course, it takes me to some. Get set up real quick. All right, let me quickly do one more thing. Oh, the range is going to be pretty. Waiting for that 5-minute opening range to hit. See what happens when that 5-minute opening range forms. All right. Let's see. Where's market open here? We opened. Go on the 5-minute real quick. So waiting for that first 5-minute candle to see what happens. For that range, first 5-minute range to form. We got about 1 minute left until this 5-minute range forms. I can pretty much start marking out that high already. Let's see. Pretty much there's the high. And then there's pretty much the low. We got 30 seconds left, but I'll see. I'll move the line if it ends up breaking, but there's pretty much that 5-minute range. We got like 20 seconds left. All right, let's see what happens. So far, so good. Now, pretty much, I'm gonna wait for this range to break before I take a position. I'm gonna wait for this range to break, and then possibly when it re-enters back into the range with a gap. I swear, these freaking spammers. It's like as soon as I go live, they start calling. Bro, this is wild. Shorting? No, I'm not biased yet. I'm not biased to any direction. I'm waiting for this thing to break the range and then re-enter the range with a like if I'm trying to go long, If it's re-entering at the bottom of the range, I'm waiting for a bullish fair value gap to form. So right now, right, it's at the bottom of the range. So ideally what I want to see, right, is price right now to break the bottom of the range, and then once it breaks back into the range, it forms a bullish gap breaking back into the range, and then I take my entry off that bullish gap to the next liquidity point. Good morning. So this is kind of a new strategy I've been testing out, and yeah, it's been working pretty good. So I'm gonna be kind of sticking to this strategy and seeing how well this strategy works. But based on back testing, it's been working good as long as I can execute, right? Because back testing is one thing, but executing is the hard part. Down, down, baby, go. We're at the view op pretty much right now. We're at the view op, so see if this thing can break down. We're starting to kind of wick past the range. I need a closure. This is gonna be good. I think I like this. Not closing. It's not closing out of the range. This 5-minute range is a pretty important range, right? There's a lot of, the first 5 minutes of the morning, a lot of volume comes into the market. So it's a pretty important range. Possibly looking for buys here. We're above view op. Possibly looking for longs. According to like pre-market action, we've been kind of sideways for pre-market action. It's just been going, I mean, we had a let me see, 6 o'clock opened up. Yeah, we just been kind of going pretty much sideways all pre-market. So possibly it could start wanting to take out all this liquidity and move in another direction. So haven't broken out of this range yet. Waiting and seeing so far. We got 20 seconds left, but it's just wicking here. Oh, do we have news? Hourly fair value gap for the bullish? For longs? Let me see. What's today? Wednesday. We have 10 a.m. 10 a.m. news, but a yellow folder, so not really any high impact news. But there is news at 10 a.m. Man, it could not close outside of this range. I pretty much need it to close outside the range. Do we have a... Okay, let me... There a gap on the hourly, you said? Yeah, there's a gap on the hourly. Yeah, that's a pretty big bounce point. I could see why you would... And we have kind of support here to the left of it. So it makes sense why it could bounce here. But what I'm looking for, I need this to close outside the range and then close back into the range. So far, it's not doing it. We're still... Trade did hit. Yeah, it was a weird it was a weird trade because it never swept the lows, but it did hit the bottom wicks. Not the wicks, the body candles. Which is usually, I kind of like to take, that's why I like to take profit at the body lows, not necessarily the all-time low wicks. But yeah, it was, ended up hitting. So, the strategy played yesterday. Yeah, and I was doing some back testing, and listen, man, this strategy has been working very well. Like, the days where it just doesn't work are the days where you just don't get an entry. So, I'm gonna try to keep, I'm gonna try to trade this strategy and see how well it works. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're getting to push lower. I like this. I like this. I need this candle to close outside the range. Pretty much what it's telling me, right? So the first 5 minutes is the highest. We get a lot of volume that come in, right? So when we break out of that range, and then, for example, right, say this candle right here, if this candle was to break outside the range, and then we get bullish buying pressure back into the range, that leaves a fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap. What does that tell you? That tells you that they want to take it higher, right? They broke outside the range, they failed to hold it, they pushed it right back inside the range, creating a bullish fair value gap, and then I would enter off that bullish fair value gap inside that range for the next kind of liquidity target. Like I said, it has to close outside. It's not closing, it's just wicking outside the range. Looking for longs. Yeah, longs are kind of at play. We're above VWAP. We're wicking right above. I would wait for confirmation. So, remember, VWAP is a very weird area. VWAP is... There's a lot of chop at VWAP. So, you kind of don't want to just be buying here, because this is a very choppy area until price really confirms, you know, that it wants to go higher. Like, one confirmation for now would be like an inverse of like a gap or something that pushes up. But, I mean, if you're willing to be stuck in chop, then if you have your stop at a place that makes sense. But you don't want to have too tight of a stop at VWAP because you just get chopped up. Right now we're breaking above VWAP and then breaking below it. Right now we're below VWAP. So VWAP is pretty much like right in the, like at the bottom of this range right there. Like where my cursor is. So I'm gonna wait for that New York high, then I'm gonna shoot for that long. Yeah, that's not a bad wait for, like, some people do that. A lot of people use the 15-minute 15-minute opening range. They wait for that range to break out, and then they wait for a pullback back into that range, like pull back into the top of the range to take a long, and that's kind of their confirmation. But yeah, I mean, not a bad strategy if you wait for New York session kind of highs to break, and then maybe break and then retest back to go higher. But you kind of want, like, for me, I would want more confirmation that we're going long instead of, one thing I hate is being stuck in chop. That's like freaking the worst. So if I can prevent myself from being stuck in this sideways action. Like I said, we have news at 10, but it's yellow folder. It's not any major impact news. What at Forex? Forex Factory. Today, let me see on Forex Factory. Wait. What the heck? Forex. Bro, I need to stop looking at the economic, we do have red folder. Jolts here on, that's weird. Jolts job openings. Bro, that is so weird. I'm gonna stop using the other economic calendar. The other economic calendar has Jolt's job openings as a yellow folder news event. But Forex Factory has Jolt job openings as a red folder news event. So you gotta, okay, there is red folder, never mind, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna stop looking at the other one. I don't know why they're so... That could have screwed me up badly. So yeah, be careful. 10 a.m. We got red folder news. Job openings. It's so weird. But if you go on, like, I sometimes use Finviz economic calendar. It has it as a yellow folder news event. But yeah, Forex has it as a red folder. I'll go with Forex. I'm not gonna take my risk. Oh, good thing I checked. Freaking A, that would have sucked. What time is it? Crap, we got like... I hope a trade doesn't play out right before news. Could play out. Like, I don't... Let's see what happens. It's like, if a trade forms, do you enter the trade? That's the thing with this strategy. I don't know about news events. Like, I guess maybe if I have a defined stop loss to make sure I have that just in case. But I would prefer not to be in a trade for this crap, for the news. So this thing can chop till news, and I'm fine with that. Maybe that's what it's doing. Maybe it's just chopping, waiting for news to come out. Because we're still stuck in this 5-minute range. Oh, it said it was yellow for you too? Yeah, it's weird. Look on Forex Factory. It's red folder news on Forex. Man, this thing is just chopping sideways, huh? Alright, let's look on 5-minute chart. So we still are stuck in this. Look at the wicks past that 5-minute. Look at the wicks. Holy crap. Look at the 5-minute chart. Still stuck in this range, but we got a lot of wicks. Oh crap, is this gonna be it? Yeah, it does. The market makers are watching. Alright, let's see this. Oh boy. Alright, we're closing outside the 5-minute range. First candle to close outside the range. See what happens. If I can get a bullish fair value gap to form back inside the range, I'll potentially take a long. So I'm gonna wait for that. Here, I'll be back in a second before this trade sets up. All right. Back into the range. Am I going to get a bullish gap? Now, I need a bullish gap to form. I need a bullish gap to form. When's news? 10 minutes till news. Where I swear, like, me live streaming is a freaking call magnet. I don't know why, but literally every time I go live, everyone starts calling me. They don't really call me when I'm not live. But boy, do the phone calls start coming in when I'm live. Alright, we got a little tiny gap. So far, 20, so about 80. I'm trying to calculate my risk for this. So let's see this. If we can get a pullback. The only thing that sucks is it's right before news. That's what sucks. So I'd be interested in a long here, kind of off this fair value gap. I guess I'm gonna put a limit order in here. If price comes in and taps it, the only thing that sucks is freaking news is coming out. I'm gonna put my stop right away, just in case news comes out, wicks me out of the trade, because that could happen. But the setup is there. Setup is there, so we could get this. Come on. Come on, fill that imbalance. Yeah, that's the 1 minute. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have a stop below the lows. Alright, I'm in this. Stop below the lows. So sell stop market there, and then my TP is going to be the highs. We'll see. We will see. We shall see. We shall see. It's going to be one of those. Alright, we're still above view op. We're above view op, so we're kind of pushing back into view op, right? So the idea is this, right? We broke out of this 5-minute range. We pushed back into the range, forming a bullish fair value gap. So the idea is to bounce off this fair value gap and price wanting to go up to those highs up there, right? That's the idea of the trade. And only thing that sucks is news is coming out in like 6 minutes. 6 minutes till news. That's the only thing that, but, you know, my TPs are set. Whatever gets hit, I mean, hopefully news propels it already to the high and doesn't wake me out. Maybe it hits TP before news. That would be ideal. But the strategy is there, so I'm gonna wait for it to play out. Let's go! Oh boy. Oh boy. Was this a bad trade? Bruh. How is today the only day where I take an L on this? Of the backtesting I've done, bruh, there wasn't one losing day in the past, like... Do not tell me today is one of those losing days. Push it! Rip it! Come on! Bro, this strategy was working, so I hope today's not one of the losing days. Bro, come on. We need to push above that view op. Let's go. Push, 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 push. Rip it. Crap, news is like in 3 minutes. You think so? It may stop me out here. Freaking A. Bro, this is the one losing trade, bro. What are the chances of that? When I was backtesting, I wasn't paying attention to news events. Maybe I should have been doing that. Rip it! Bruh! Oh my gosh. Come on! You son of a... Bruh, this is ridiculous. Push it! Come on, NASDAQ! Rip it! I'm sticking to the freaking plan! Yes! Rip it! Oh crap! Less than 1 minute left! Oh man! Less than a minute left. Oh, you freaking bastard. Got like 30 seconds left. Is this thing seriously gonna stop me out, right? 10 seconds left. Ten seconds. Oh! 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 Oh my gosh! No! Come on! Rip it! Come on! You can do it! Yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Woo! Let's go. TP, come on. Push it. Push it. That's what I'm freaking talking about. Come on, take out those highs. All that juicy liquidity. Yes. The strategy is working. Oh, gosh. I thought the strategy was about to disappoint me. Oh, we still got time. This still could stop me out, though. I can't get too excited yet, but I like it. I like it. Rip it. Break the 200. We got to break this 200. All right. We got to break the high now. We don't really have... We have a tiny little gap up here, but there's not really anything stopping price for getting to those highs. So I think price wants those highs at this point. We're above view up, pushing above the 200. We're about to break this high. I think we're looking pretty good for those highs. We got another bullish gap that just formed. And price may tap back into this bullish gap before going up, so I'm not scared of a retracement. I understand, right? Price could retrace back into this bullish gap. I hope it doesn't. I hope it breaks the highs before it retraces back into this gap. But there is another bullish gap that formed. I guess I should have waited maybe till news came out. But no, I took the strategy when I seen it form. So is that a 5 minute? This is on a 1 minute chart, but it's inside the 5 minute range still. We got to break out of this 5 minute range to the upside. We kind of push back in. We're still in this 5 minute range. We got to break. There it goes. Tap into the high of the 5 minute range. Come on. Push it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Pause. Mate, Mike could hope, blah, 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 blah. You want to lose money, invest like this. This is my strategy, ya freaking idioto. This is my strategy. TP, who's talking? Just because I'm emotional, I'm letting the trade play out. Right? My emotions are absolutely doing nothing for this trade right now. I have my stop loss set in place. I have my TP set in place. So I can be emotional all I want. As long as my emotions don't affect my trading, bruh, that's all that matters. No, I'm not trading news, bro. Trail stop. Yeah, I probably have to, honestly. Hold on. Oh. I probably have to start moving stop to break even, just in case. There's a bullish gap here. Crap. Stop is at break even at this point. We're so close to TP that either this hits TP or it stops me out at break even. But so according to the back testing, anytime price comes this close to my TP, right, and I don't take a break even stop, it starts to look ugly, right? So It came less than 10 points away from hitting my TP, so I'm really hoping this doesn't stop me out break even, but if it does, I'm fine with that. Rip it. You freaking spam callers. Y'all screwing me up. Come on, hit the TP. So no risk on this trade anymore. I'm risk off. What is the entry based on? I'll explain the trade once I'm out of this trade. The only thing, right? Let's see. So perfect. Risk off. This is a risk-free trade at this point. Risk-free. Either I get stopped out at break even or... Oh my gosh, this thing is being dumb. Oh my gosh. Come on. You gonna seriously stop me out? We have a bullish gap. That's the only thing that sucks. We have another bullish gap, so I'm worried this thing can retrace back into that bullish gap. And then it's gonna stop me out, retrace back into the gap, and then rip to the upside. I'm hoping that does not happen. I'm hoping it takes out that high before it retraces back into that gap. Because if it does the gap first, I'm gonna get stopped out at break even. But if it gets this close to hitting my TP and I don't move my stop to break even, and I'm not gonna like that. Oh, it's edging. It's edging it. Come on! Woo! TP! Alright, let me make sure my copy trader is all... Just a second. Hold on. Copy trader. I gotta make sure it exit. Oh, one trade still left on. Flatten. That's the thing you have to be careful with copy trader. You have to make sure it exited all your accounts. So I'm just going in, flattening all. I always click it like 3 or 4 times to flatten everything, just to make sure every single account that I traded is flat. Oh, look at that. Hits my TP, now it retraces. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Alright, is this Ninja Trader? Yeah, this Ninja Trader. It's Ninja Trader. So that was taken across 7 accounts. 7 accounts, $500 per account. So it's what? 500, 1,000, 500, 2,000, 500, 3,500. So 3,500. Now these are evaluation accounts. Just being full transparent. They're not funded accounts. These are evaluations. I'm trying this strategy. That I've been back testing this strategy and it's been working very well. So. This is just a strategy I've been back testing, and for the past month it's been very profitable, and trying to do it actually live. Now obviously back testing and executing it in real time is 2 completely different things, right? So this is the strategy to everyone who is asking. So somebody who is asking, right? This is what I wait for now. You wait for the first 5-minute range to form, right? So if I go on the 5-minute chart. All right, 5-minute chart, right? So I have the first 5-minute, wait. Where is it? Where's the range? Where's the range? I'm tripping. Oh, it's this candle. So you see this first 5-minute candle, right? So I marked out the range of the first 5 minutes, right? Then you move to the 1-minute chart. And now you have that range. So you do nothing when price is in this range. You absolutely do nothing. What you do, what I do is I wait for price to break outside the range. So what did price do? Price broke outside of this range right here at 949, 950. Price closed outside the range on the bottom here. After closing outside the range, what I do is I wait for price to close back into the range, forming a bullish fair value gap. So if I'm going long, if it's at the bottom of the range, I wait for a bullish fair value gap. If it's at the top of the range, I wait for a bearish fair value gap. So price closed outside the range. Buyer stepped in immediately, pushed it back inside the range. We had formed a fair value gap right there. That was the first presented fair value gap back inside the range. It's tiny, but took the entry off the first fair value gap and a stop below the lows. The news was the only thing that was kind of like scary. That news was coming out, and I literally almost got stopped out, but it ended up working out. I mean, I have to... When I was backtesting, I didn't account for news, so I just have to take the setup. If it's there, I just have to take it. Unless there's like some FOMC news, obviously, then I'm not gonna... That's like a crazy news event. But yeah, and then pretty much you enter off the bullish fair value gap, stop below the lows, and you target the next liquidity point, which would be these highs up here. And look at that. Hits that next liquidity. It's hitting that. It literally tapped me out of my trade, and now it's dropping right back down. So that's pretty much the strategy. And there's a lot of days, right? There's some days where you just don't take a trade. So when you don't take a trade, right, it's a risk off. So that's what I was realizing with this strategy. Either you really had like a winning trade, or you just didn't enter a trade because you never got a setup. But the other thing I was saying earlier was why I put my stop to break even. What I realized is if it comes super close to hitting your TP, you have to have your stop at break even, because, you know, if it ends up pulling all the way back to break even, it could go for those lows again. Because it's so close to your TP, to those highs, it may just be making a double top and then ripping right lower. Oh my gosh. Bro, I had the perfect exit. Look at that. My exit was the highs right here. Perfect exit, and then a freaking drop all the way back down. Now it's back inside the range. And the idea behind this is that first 5 minutes, so much volume comes in that if we close outside it and then they push it right back, forming a gap, that gap could be a signal to push it to the next liquidity point that they take it off of. So, when you say below the lows, that below the exit candle wick. When I say below the lows, I mean a candle closing below the 5 minute range. So like here, how a candle closed below. So you had these candles. See, every time it was wicking below the range. This right here was the only candle that actually closed on the 1 minute chart. Now this is a 1 minute chart. This was the only two candles that closed outside the range. And then look what happened. Closed outside the range, immediate push back into the range, and then you had this gap form right there. And then that was my entry pretty much right off that gap with the stop below the lows. So that risk to reward was actually not bad. I mean, it's what? Let's say it was 10, 20, 30, about 40 point risk for a 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 point. So pretty much a 1-to-1, a little bit better than a 1-to-1. Can you make a video? Just went out of service while you were explaining it. I'm in and out. Oh yeah, hold on. Am I good? I don't know, my freaking alright, I'm good. I just second. My phone's being, I don't know why he does this. But yeah, I'll make a video. I'm gonna be trading this strategy for on these evaluation accounts, so I'll explain it again. But I want to trade before I make a video about this strategy. I want to really like do some real trading on it. I don't want to just make a video without really like, you know, getting it down. Bro, what the flip? Do not tell me. Hold on. Alright, I'm good. No, my phone is... But yeah, I want to do some real trading on it. I did back testing on it and it was good in the back testing, but I want actual live trades. But how I found, bruh, how I found this strategy was literally by accident. Like, not by accident, but I saw someone else had a strategy. And I'm somebody who likes to, like, when I see a strategy, I like to actually listen to their strategy and then go back in the charts and try to see if the strategy actually works or if I can understand it well enough. And it was a strategy somebody was explaining, a very similar strategy, 5-minute range, but what he was doing was he was doing the opposite. He was waiting for price to break outside the 5-minute range, and he was waiting for like a continuation type of thing. And when I started back testing it, I started realizing that when it closed back inside the range and formed a gap, a lot of times it was working out, like the trades were working. And it's just something I realized while I was looking at his strategy, and I'm like, hold up. And then I started back testing it, and I'm like, shoot, this thing actually works. And the days where it doesn't work, you just don't take a trade. You don't get an entry. And you'll notice the days where it breaks outside the range and just continues ripping to the upside, a lot of times it stays outside. Like, if it breaks above it and it keeps trending above it pretty much for a while. So it's almost a good indicator of if we do break outside this range and we hold to the upside, we're bullish. Like, be more bullish mindset of now if we get a pullback into this top of the range somewhere here. But obviously not all the time it did that, but a lot of times I noticed when it popped outside, it kept trending outside. Market moving crazy. Yeah, it's moving a lot of ups and downs. Look at that, and it's bouncing off the bottom of the bullish one. Oh my gosh, do not tell me you get another entry. So this one may have worked out actually too. Look at this gap. So technically, I could have even waited after news came out, right? It looks like I could have. Well, that's difficult because it already took out that high. It already took out that high, but look at that. It's giving you literally another entry, another pullback into this gap that it formed, and then ripping right back up. So I could have even waited for news to come out, but right, the strategy is take the first gap. So this is the second one, but so if it would have went above the 5-minute range, where you be, yeah, exactly. So if it was, and I look for one direction for first, right? So if this would have in the morning, if it would have done the opposite, meaning if it would have pushed up and started closing above the 5-minute range and then pushed right back inside, leaving a bearish gap, I would have went short for the next liquidity point at the bottom. But just because it breaks above it, you still need the fair value gap. Like, there were times in my backtesting, there were times where it broke above it and then closed below, but it did not leave any fair value gaps to take entries off of. So you don't take any trade in that case. You just stay out of the move. But you really, those two are important. Closing outside the range and then a fair value gap forming. So I'm gonna try. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, it seems like it's working. Now, I don't know over like months or years worth of backtesting. Maybe I should. Does anyone know a good backtesting? there's a few backtesting softwares, but I really don't want to pay money. If it's like, if I have to pay money to do backtesting, ugh. Like, I want to, but depends how much. Because you said, bruh, if I found a strategy that worked 100% of the time, to be honest with you, I would freaking, I don't know. I would, I don't know if I'd probably keep a secret. I would gatekeep that strategy. Or I would let people know, maybe like the people watching me, I would let them know. There would be like a first come first serve basis. The people that are here would find out, and then after a month I would just keep it on lockdown. But obviously that's impossible. It's impossible to find a strategy that works 100% of the time. Forex replay? Is it like a, am I Forex replay? Let me look it up. Does it, like, how do you do the back testing? Are you able, I'm talking about being able to, like, I've never done a back testing software. Like being able to put in the rules and then it back tests like a year's worth of data for you. Like me being able to put in the rules, closing outside the range, first bullish gap to the next liquidity point. That's it. Oh, it is. Trading with confidence starts with back testing. Start for free, no credit required. Okay. Free? I like that word. Free. I may do beginner. So what comes with the beginner? 1 week of data retention, 1 indicator, 1 access. Now, 1 week of data retention, does that mean, is that only a week's worth of data, or is that, because that's a week's worth of data. That's, does anyone know what data retention means? You get 2 free sessions. What do you mean? What does it mean, sessions? Like, I don't know if you find me because you'll probably stop streaming. Bruh, it's probably true. Like, typically when somebody finds, you know, the whole theory, I don't know if this theory is true, right? Like alpha, they say alpha decay. Meaning if there's a theory, I don't know if this theory is true or not true, but there's a theory of if enough people start trading one strategy, the same strategy, if enough people start trading it, it stops working. That's what I've heard, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true, because there are strategies out there that people have back tested and it's been profitable for years. And a lot of people trade it. Now, the thing is, how many people need to trade it? Does it, like, do millions of people need to trade it for it to stop being profitable? Or, like, I would assume it would have to be in the millions because of the markets, right? The volume of the market is like, right, trillions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. So I feel like for something to stop working, for a strategy to stop working, a whole lot of people have to be trading it. I don't know. That's... you can set however long you want sessions, and once the session ends, you started a new. But does it allow me to go? My whole goal, does it allow me to go like a year's worth? If I can do at least a year's worth, where, like, I want a backtesting software to where I can put in my requirements, and then it backtests it for me. So it spits out the data of like a year's worth of data for that strategy. Because I don't want to have to manually do it. If I have to manually do it, that's gonna suck. Oh, it won't do it. So so you still, even though it's a backtesting software, you still have to manually do it? Because that sucks. Like, if in that case, I can manually do it myself. Now, I can only go back like a month, but I guess, yeah, if you want to go back, maybe if it gives you more data, then it's beneficial. Oh, but you can't. Oh, okay. So that's the benefit of it. So you can actually, you have to do it yourself, but you can go back. You can actually go back years versus like a standard brokerage will only allow you, like on a 1 minute chart, a standard brokerage won't allow you to go more than like 20 days or something like that. Yeah, that's why we don't do much back testing. I think somebody, I heard a trader talk about, he backtested a whole year's worth of his strategy, so I'm guessing he manually backtested a year. That's crazy. That's a lot of work. So see, look now. So it did give you it gave you another entry. So not only did this first tiny bullish one work out, this one worked out actually better. To be honest with you, the second one was better, but the strategy is wait for the first one to form. So, but even the second one played out. And look at that. Bounced off this bullish gap. And then freaking right back up to the upside. And now that it's kind of trending above, watch. It could likely hold now. Right above this 5 minute range. We're very bullish right now. So I would not be looking for any shorts right now. Every imbalance pretty much has been filled, right? This bullish imbalance has been filled. It left behind this bullish one, tapped into it, so I don't know. Let's do Pine's. What's Pine script? Pine. I've never heard of that. All right, it looks like I gotta make a trade. I don't have trading view. I gotta make a trading view. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I'm actually gonna write that down. But you said Pine script on trading view. Pine. Wait, what was it? Pine. Yeah, Pine script. Pine script. Trading. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. It will auto test it. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. If I can do that, that would be very beneficial. Because it always, like, if you can backtest the strategy and it gives you like, it tells you that it's, say, you know, 70% win rate. It's profitable over like a year's worth of data. It just gives you more confidence in the strategy to just execute the strategy. And then when you have a losing trade, you don't get emotional because you know your data. You know that over a long span of time, it works. And that's the whole goal of trading, is being confident in your strategy. And when you're confident in your strategy and you just don't get out of trades just because of some price action, like, it doesn't scare you. You just let the data play out. Peace out. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, it gives you data ranges. Okay. But we're literally kind of chopping around. I mean, we're... Interesting to see if it holds the top of this 5 minute range. Is it gonna... Like, is it gonna use this 5 minute range now as support? Or is it gonna, you know, enter back into it and then start trading into the range again? as well as customer data ranges. Oh wow, I didn't know TradingView did all that. I know a lot of people always used it, but I just never really. I'm the type of person when I start with something and it works good, like meaning like a brokerage or something like that, I typically don't switch. Like there are people who like to try out different brokerages and platforms and this and that. I'm somebody who, like, if I find something that I get used to and I know how it works, I typically just stick with it. But I'm gonna get for the back testing. I'll get TradingView and try to do it. It'll probably have to be like on a. I'm gonna trade it, probably trade the strategy the rest of the week, and then maybe like on a Saturday or a Sunday, when I have more time during the week, I'll be able to do the back testing. Oh crap! I just moved them. So see, look, it broke out of the range. Now it's using that 5-minute range, the top of the 5-minute range, as support. You can link it to Ninja. You can link it to Ninja and trade for. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that you can link Ninja Trader and TradingView together. Does it mess up? So you can link it to Ninja and trade from TradingView. Does it mess up your the only thing is how is it for my my copy trader? Because I have a copy trader on Ninja. And I guess it would still copy trade. It would still do the same thing, right? It would still execute all the. I mean, it should do it if it links it together. You need to buy market data package with it, huh? How much is it? If it's too. Be careful of your copy trader closing out. Yeah, that's the only thing that's it could kind of screw up the copy trader in a sense of. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use it. Probably wouldn't use it like that because I don't want more steps to like me doing that. It just gives like there's more opportunity for something to go wrong. If that makes sense. Like. Because there's more steps, right? If it links it to Ninja and that, if I could just trade off Ninja and then I'm already used to Ninja, so I don't mind Ninja. It's a pretty good platform. I don't know, maybe it's not as good as TradingView, but it hasn't let me down, meaning like it does what it's like for a brokerage, like a trading platform, all I needed to do is execute the trades when I need them executed, and that's it. Like, I don't need anything else. If a trading platform can make it as simple as possible so that their platform doesn't keep going down or some issues all the time with it, I feel like the more complex a platform is, the more things that can go wrong in the platform when you're in a trade or when you're doing something or... Because I've heard stories of certain platforms, like people have issues with platforms and then they can't like... They don't get filled on an entry or some other freaking thing happens and it just gets very frustrating when you have a good setup and then because of your platform you can't take the trade or... So Ninja has been working good, so I mean I'm gonna probably stick with it. You're using affordable or like trade of it? No, I'm using Replicanto. I bought a Replicanto. Oh, freaking! I bought the Replicanto. It was like $200 for the lifetime. So I bought Replicanto and it works really good. It's just the most popular one, so I figured like some other trade copiers sometimes have more issues, and I'm always the person, I always go with the most popular one, the one that's proven to be good, because I don't want to go through, you know. And it works pretty good. Now sometimes like that's not the trade copier's fault, but like sometimes obviously because I have limit orders in, so like today even, you just have to make sure and check, because sometimes I have 7 accounts, like 6 accounts will get filled and then 1 account will have a trade still on. So you have to go into the trade copier and you have to flatten all accounts, and then it just flattens every single account. But what's cool is I found out you can trade across multiple platforms. So technically you can copy trade a whole bunch of accounts, right? You can copy trade Apex accounts, and you can copy trade, like, I'm copy trading Apex and Take Profit Trader accounts. But the only thing is, with NinjaTrader, you can only have one rhythmic data feed in your NinjaTrader. So like, my rhythmic data feed is with Apex, and then for my Take Profit Trader accounts, I had to use Tradeovate data feed. So you link a Tradeovate data feed to NinjaTrader, and then you can have both separate data feeds on there and copy trade multiple prop firms. The KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, I feel like some people try to overcomplicate trading. Like, it's you have to figure out a strategy that works for you, and then just stick with it. And not to say, like, in the beginning, like, once you start trading more and you're like become more experienced, you can start looking into different strategies. It becomes a lot easier to, like, but in the beginning, I mean, like, obviously in the very early stages of trading, the very, very beginning stages of trading, obviously you're going to be looking to different strategies, but it has to get to a certain point where you have to stick to one and then kind of just master that one strategy. Ooh. Do you know why DWCPF? I don't trade penny stocks. I don't trade penny stocks. Or here, give me a second. Somebody's here. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. It's not a penny stock? What was it? Hold on, what was it? DWC. Wait. What the heck? What is it? A regular stock? I don't really trade regular DW, CPF. Oh, it's the Dow Jones. Up 700%? How much did you say? 700%? What the heck? Oh, what the heck happened? It was at 2,000. Over the past 5 days, it's up 700%. 722%. That's wild. No, I'm sticking with Nasdaq. I've been trading Nasdaq around for like, 2 years already, so I kind of know how it likes to move, so yeah, yesterday it was at 2,400. Now it's at 20,000. I mean, something like this, it's like, bro, if it's already up that much, it's not a smart idea to buy at the top. Like that, the move's already gone. It could go higher, but man, that's wild. Like, how do you even predict something like that? That's just not. But that is pretty crazy, dang. Huh, how long has it been around for? Oh, it's been around for a... Yeah. It's been around for a very long time. What caused it to... I'm just curious what caused it to... Here it is. Yahoo Finance has an article about it. Or not... No, it's not an article. It's just a... I'm just curious why it did that. But you can see, look at this. Look what happened when it broke outside the 5-minute range. When it broke outside and then it held it as support, and then look at that. I mean, look at that. Freaking, it's still going up. So here all it was doing was, right, it took out this high. It retraced back into this gap to fill this imbalance. It filled this imbalance perfectly. Now it's moving up, breaking the high. Broke that high, retested the top of the 5-minute, and now it's ripping to the upside. Dang, maybe I should have left some runners. It's never worked out for me. Like, think it continues going up tomorrow. No, I would, that's too late. I mean, it could. That's not, at that point, that's not trading. That's just like, I mean, you're just hoping that something that overbought is like, it's kind of dumb to buy at the top. Because this thing can, and a lot of people are doing that right now. I bet you a lot of people see something went up that much and they're like, oh my gosh, look how much it went up and let me buy. And then what happens tomorrow? It could open and it could just tank tomorrow. So that's not really trading. That's just like, that's the equivalent to me buying like at the very top of the move, like right here, trying to catch the top, trying to like buy at the top and hoping it keeps going up. Could it go up? Yes, but it's kind of very stupid because at any moment we could have a massive pullback. It's just not good, not good trading. And that's kind of what, like, it's kind of what penny stock trading was, right? You're trying to, like, catch, you're looking for the biggest movers, and you're trying to always, like, go with the biggest movers and try to catch the continuation, and I don't know. I wasn't good at it. I'll just stick to futures. Futures is the GOAT. No market better than futures market. But looks like this thing is still it's having trouble though. Let me look on a bigger time frame. And I'll post a video of this strategy. I recorded this trade. I recorded me explaining it, so I'll probably make a video about this strategy, but like a very short video of like executing the strategy. Not DWCPF. I'm talking about NASDAQ. Oh, NASDAQ. Oh, I thought you were talking about. Yeah, so you have to, okay, if we look at a higher time frame, you just have to look on higher time frames in terms of, right? Like if you look at this is the hourly chart. We're in an uptrend. I mean, we've kind of broken structure to the kind of, you know, it's almost a trend change, right? Before we had this downtrend, right? And now you can kind of see this uptrend forming. Right, so it's kind of starting to make higher highs, which is a very bullish sign for this to possibly continue going, maybe to like that 23,800 level. But it is making higher highs. Depending on how we close today, I mean, we could see this thing start to. But, you know, like for me, it doesn't matter. I don't like, it doesn't matter for me what NASDAQ does. I'll wait tomorrow for it to open tomorrow and then see where it's at tomorrow and see if I get a setup. Right, because I'm not really like investing in a sense of holding long term, so I don't really need to know like the overall, like the yearly direction of NASDAQ. But it took out these lows down here. So we took out those lows down there. That's why we kind of reversed too. But yeah. We're very bullish. I mean, holy. Bro, look at this. We're just, no stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. Let me see the 5-minute chart. Was there gaps on the 5-minute? No. I did leave this bullish gap here, but wondering if Apex extended their for those who are for those who bought accounts, Apex extended their PA fee activation. I just got an email today. Woke up today, up 300 on some call contracts from SPY. That's wild how you guys can sleep in a position, bro. I would not be able to sleep while I'm in a trade. Like, I need to freaking appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, what was I Oh. With Apex. So let me go to the email. For those of you who bought accounts, so Apex, $37 resets and PA fee discounts extend on all sale evals. In order to ensure everyone gets their activation emails in time and gets all set up in order to give you more time, we extended the PA activation accounts until 12 noon Eastern time on Thursday, September 4th. So they extended the activation fees, the discounts. Some of those bigger accounts had there was $37 activation fees for the $250,000 and $300,000 accounts, and then $85 for the other accounts. But I'm not gonna push it just to get the discount, because that's just like, I'm asking to blow my accounts if I push it for the discount. This would have been the perfect day to really get past the go heavy, but is this futures? Yeah, it's futures. NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ. Yeah, and I pretty much, I don't know, there's not really any more trades. I already took my trade. We're still ripping. I mean, holy, buy. I already bought at the bottom. I already exited my buy. Buying up here is a little late to the show. That's like going into the movie theater and walking in the last 5 minutes of the movie. I mean, maybe some people want to see the ending, just the ending, but shorts. See where we are. Nice 60-minute chart. Where was that liquidity on the 60-minute? So we are sweeping some form of liquidity, but bruh, I'm like, after I take a good trade and I'm up already like a decent amount, I'm very like not wanting to take another trade. Like, I don't want to give away profits that I already had for a good trade. And then that's kind of how you go spiral out of control. But there could be a rejection up here. If I was wanting to get, like me personally, this is just like if I wanted to get short, in my eyes right now, the best short would be up here. In my eyes, the best short level would be up here. Right? So, why? Because you have a lot of confluences up here. You have a bearish gap that didn't get filled, right? You have a kind of resistance area. You have a bearish gap. You have this liquidity right here that can get swept, right? Then you have a pivot point that's literally right there, right above that level. There's a pivot point. So there's a lot of things up here to push price back down. So in my eyes, I would personally like to see a push up here, and then possibly like some confirmation, maybe a inverse gap, a gap that gets inversed as a confirmation that it wants to keep going lower. But, right, also chasing shorts up here is kind of, We're very bullish right now, right? We're above that 5-minute range. It's if it's your strategy, but in my eyes, that's the best level for a short. Are you waiting for a rejection? No, I'm not really. I already took my trade. My entry was, I took a long down here. Or was it? I took a long right there. And then I took TP at the top of this. I exited at the top, so that was like the best. So yeah, I kind of don't want to. Dun, 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 dun. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I mean, like, here's my prediction, right? Wait for that. Wait for that high. What time is it? Holy crap, it's already 11? No way. Bruh. Damn, time flew by fast. Bro, I thought it was like 10:30. It's already 11. You have a mentorship? No, I don't. I just trade live. I'm not gonna charge you for if you have questions, you can ask me on the lives, and I trade live every day, so I don't want to take people's money, man. I'm different than other traders. Other TikTok traders and traders that trade live, they all have freaking mentorships and freaking discords that they charge for, and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of discords, and they don't need to be profitable in trading. Me, I'm a little different. I actually want to be, you know, I want to make a lot of money in trading and not have to, you know, get money from people. Like, I actually want to make good money in trading, and that will separate you from the rest of the influencers. Yeah, I'll teach what I learn. I mean, obviously I don't know everything, but you know, it's over the years I have learned a lot about trading. So, but on these lives, I'm gonna be just executing the strategy that I did this morning, because like I said, I really wanna try to trade this strategy over the long term and see how well it works. Based on my back testing, it's been working very good. So, but that's the hard part about trading. Hindsight trading and actual trading is you know, seeing it on the chart and then actually trading it live is two completely different things. There was this saying, somebody, I forgot, somebody had a really profitable strategy, and the guy literally said, he's like, I can literally post my strategy on the front page. This was back then when they had newspapers and stuff. He said, I can post my strategy on the front page of the newspaper and people still won't be profitable using it. And I think that's true. It's like, you can give people a profitable strategy, but not everyone will be profitable with it. And it just comes down to psychology, people not executing it correctly, and that's what practice comes in of. Have you taken any trades? Yeah, I took one trade today. And this is I'll go over it again, I guess. I'm going to post a video of this trade. I recorded it, but in essence, this is the strategy that I was looking for, that I'm going to be back testing. So, quick rundown, right? First 5-minute candle, right? So first 5-minute range to form in market open. You mark out the first 5 minutes. So this level, these two levels are the first 5 minutes. Make sure I have it. I think I moved it on accident. Yeah, so let's be up here. So that's the first 5 minutes of the morning. You go to a 1 minute chart, right? So it's trading in this range, pretty much what I wait for. I wait for candle close outside the range and for buyers to step in. Buyers stepped in aggressively. Then I wait for a bullish gap to form. First bullish gap to form. There's that bullish gap. Stop below the lows. Target the next level of liquidity. So my entry was right here. I went into some drawdown. There was news. It was a little bit risky because news came out, but ended up pushing to this high. You ended up getting another actual opportunity, but it ended up forming another gap right here. See, this was another long position, but I took the first gap because that's part of the strategy. Take the first fair value gap. So I took this one. But that's pretty much the strategy. Very simple. And the idea is first 5 minute range has a lot of volume. So when they close below the range and then say buyers step in this aggressively back into the range, leaving an imbalance, you take an entry off the imbalance for the next, you know, for the next target of liquidity, which was this. So it literally took me out and then rebalanced back to this bullish gap to go higher. And this was what I was worried about when I was in the trade, right? When it was around here and my TP was right there, I had moved my stop to break even because I was worried that this could pull back and fill this imbalance and then move to that TP. Luckily, it hit my TP first and then went to the imbalance. So I was worried that it was going to first stop me out at break even, retrace to the imbalance, and then move to the TP. But luckily, it worked out. Yeah, no problem. And all eventually, and this is what's crazy about this strategy, nobody, like, this strategy doesn't exist. This isn't a strategy that I learned from somebody online, or this is something I just noticed in the market of something, you know, happening in the market because I was looking at a different strategy. So I started noticing this and started backtesting it a little bit, and it's been pretty profitable. So this isn't something you'll find really online. But obviously, before I make any like actual videos about it, and you know, I want to trade it for a while to make sure it's I actually get good at it and maybe take some payouts using the strategy, and then I can actually start to, you know. Like for me to post videos about the strategy and like, oh, this is a good strategy, I need to take some payouts. Casper teaches it. It's different. Actually, speaking of him, I figured out the strategy kind of because of him. So he teaches it differently. So he teaches his strategy is for when price closes outside of the range and he looks for continuations. He doesn't look for back into the range. So his strategy is not like back inside the range, first bullish gap like here, first bullish gap into the range, back up to the next. He waits for it to close and he waits for like a continuation below the range. He waits for it to actually kind of do this right here. What it did here, this is what he waits for. A close above, and then somehow like a bullish engulfing candle, whatever, and then this is the move he looks for. Not this move. So it's a little bit different. I'm pretty much doing the opposite, sort of the opposite of him. He's looking moves outside the range. I'm looking moves back into the range. But yeah, I was actually looking at one of his strategies because I saw it on TikTok or whatever. And I didn't really like it because I didn't really understand it too well. And then I started noticing this happen because of this 5 minute range. And then I'm like, huh. But it's not the same as what he teaches. It's different. And he targets like a 1 to 3. Like he targets you know, a 1 to 3 up to the next. I don't know. but it's not the same. All right, we're getting some sideways. This could be a almost like a bull flag. Not really, because we're having these equal lows. But this could be kind of like, you know, almost like a bull flag to go higher. Oh man, so when is probably should hop off soon. I need to go work. This thing is just ranging sideways. Did it inverse? It didn't inverse any gaps, so technically when it inverses one of these if it inverses this gap right here, could start to look a little ugly. We could it could be wanting to go lower for maybe this gap or this kind of support. How many accounts do you copy trade? I have 10 funded accounts and I have 7 evaluation accounts I'm copy trading right now. So technically, well, yeah, so 7 evaluation accounts I'm doing and I have 10 funded accounts that I've already passed. But right now I'm trading the 7 evaluations because I want to pass those. I should be able to pass these evaluations fairly quickly. I'm up 500 across 7 accounts today. So, I mean, 500 per account. So, technically, I need to reach 3,000 before I pass one account. So, 500 per account is... if I can be disciplined, I should be able to pass it fairly quickly. 6 or 7 trades, probably. I mean, I just got these accounts, like, on the 1st or something, so I'm not really in a rush. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to try to force things that aren't there. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can, Alright, it's starting to close below that gap. Uh-oh. So if we kind of close below that gap, we could be retracing back to this. There's another imbalance, right? We got another imbalance right there. So, right, that's a potential bounce point. We just inversed it. Price could be wanting to go for this imbalance down here. We got a couple supports down here too, like these highs, old resistance levels that now become new support levels. Another imbalance down there, so I personally would not be looking for a short here, but right, and there's just too much, like when you look, so here's the thing, when you look for shorts, like you got to pay attention to how much, like if I'm shorting right there, say inverse of this gap, you got to pay attention to how much things can stop price from going, say, to your TP. Like if you had your TP at the lows down here, like look how much things could stop your could keep price up. Like look at all this. You got one imbalance right there. You got old resistance that now could become new support levels right there. You got another imbalance right there. So it's got to get through so much to get to your TP that it just becomes like you got to be careful. Like if you take a trade, you want like a straight shot, almost like the less things that could potentially stop price from getting to your TP, the better. The more things, obviously, the more things that could hold up price and make you get stopped out. See, so it inversed it and closing back above. So it's a very, but that, like I said, that level up there is way better for if somebody was looking, if I was looking for a short, that level up there is way better than this liquidity here. Woo! Bless you, thank you. We got, notice we have a this is why you gotta pay attention to higher time frames too. Look at that. There's a gap on the 15-minute chart, left behind a bullish gap that this, oh my bad, this this retrace you saw, right? Right, this retrace you saw, was it retracing back into this 15-minute imbalance? Look at that. Retrace back into that 15-minute imbalance, and now potentially wanting to keep going up. But that retrace to fill that imbalance, now it can move up. So this is why you got to pay attention to higher time frames. Like being stuck at the lower time frames, you don't know the overall, like, you know, what can hold price up. There's so many things that can keep price from going lower. And overall, the general thing is when we're above UOP, when we're above the 200, when we're above all this, like, we're very bullish right now. We're very bullish. So there's a higher likelihood, in my eyes, there's a higher likelihood price can kind of retrace to go higher than just start dumping and go for, like, you know, for a low down there. Could it do that? Of course it could, but probability wise, in my eyes, it's higher to continue going up than, now it could have a retrace, but how deep is going to be the retrace before it goes back up? Is the question. Oh my gosh. So, I was gonna say something. So yeah, after 11, right, we get kind of, the price action tends to kind of die down a little bit after 11 o'clock, and you see like you even see it here. Before 11 o'clock, we get this move. And then 11 o'clock pretty much hits, and we're just kind of like ranging in a sense. We are making lower lows. That's something you gotta be mindful of. Right? Made a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, so. But yeah, probably gonna hop off soon. So one and done. That's all it takes. Take a trade, catch a good trade, wait for your setup, take the setup, take your profits, and walk away. You really don't need to be sitting there and trying to catch a million moves in the market. You wait for what you look for, and you get out of there. All you need is a little sliver of the pie. You do not need the whole freaking move. Like, look how much I potentially missed out on, right? But I'm not sitting here and like, oh, it's, you know, I could have got way more. Yeah, I could have got way more, but that's not part of the strategy. So this move doesn't bother me whatsoever. Like, I got what I was looking for, and I'm happy. How many trades should I be taking as a scalper? It all depends on your strategy, right? There's not a specific number of trades. I mean, technically, in my eyes, the less the better, right? Because you got to have a strategy and trade that strategy. For me, what the best is, and I technically am considered a scalper, right? Even me, I'm considered a scalper. I took a little bit better than a 1-to-1 trade, right? My entry was right there. My TP was up here. So I'm considered a scalper, and I took one trade and I'm done. That's the ideal thing to do, is wait for the best quality setup, take the trade, take your strategy. If you make money, it's best to walk away. Protect your profits. Because there's something called, right, there's fatigue. Like, you get into a sense when you overtrade, you get very fatigued and you start making stupid decisions when you're sitting on the charts for too long. Especially if you start taking losing trades. Like, you have to have rules in your trading. For example, if I win on the first trade, I'm out. I'm done for the day. If I lose on the first trade, I allow myself one more trade. If I win on that second trade, maybe you allow yourself a third trade because you're kind of break even. But then if you lose the third trade, you're out. Like, you have to have a set of rules to protect yourself and follow those rules. Because if you don't have rules, then you're just going to take millions of trades a day. You're going to keep getting in, out, in. And it's just going to be a mess. Just like any business has rules and systems in place to keep it profitable, same thing trading. You have to treat it like a business, like rules. You have to wait for the best quality setups and take those setups. Whatever your best quality setups are. Like, this short could have been somebody's high quality setup, right? That's the weird thing about trading. People think the more you trade, the more money you make. Typically, it's the opposite. The more you trade, you begin to overtrade. You begin to lose money the more you trade. That's why, if you notice, a lot of the profitable traders do not take trades every single day. Why? Because they're very picky about their trades. It's protecting your profits. Is like, taking winning trades is one thing. But actually protecting the winning trades you make and not giving that money back is the hardest part about trading. Because you can have somebody that's new that's gonna have winning trades, right? But protecting those profits is when the hard thing comes in. I'm new to this, but are strategies just places where people like to place trades? Strategies is just a system of it's like a system of rules that a trader follows, and something to be like proven profitable over the long term. So like, when you have a strategy, it's something that you look for very specific in the market to happen. And everyone's strategy is kind of different, and people look for different things. So you wait for whatever you're looking for and you take it. I usually go for 3 winning trades on the day. If I lose 2, I stop. That's a good rule, yeah. What? Someone's here. Just give me a second. But yeah, it's not a bad rule. If 3 winning trades for the day and you and if you lose 2, then you stop. That's as long as you follow your plan, right? You prevent yourself, first of all, from blowing accounts, because the people that blow accounts do not have rules. Because if you had rules, those rules should keep you from blowing accounts in, like, say, a couple days or whatever. There is no reason you should be blowing accounts very often. Because the first rule you have to have is understand the risk you're taking per trade. Whatever that risk is, whatever you're willing, right? Like for me, even on evaluation accounts for me, I want to allow myself 5 losing trades in a row before I blow my account. And I'm a scalper, so that doesn't really happen. So you see, I allow myself some wiggle room. Because every single strategy does have losing trades. And you don't want to blow accounts left and right. And that's why I think like trading has such a, right, the whole statistic, 90% of traders lose money over the long term. I think it's a lot of it's because the statistics are kind of screwed up if you think, because there is such a massive chunk of people that don't treat trading as a business, right? Especially a lot of younger guys, a lot of people getting into trade, they treat trading as like a casino. They treat it as gambling. They treat it as, they don't have a strategy. They're just buying at random areas and hoping to catch a big move. And I used to do that. And when you do that, you're going to lose. Like, you're going to lose money for sure. You may catch, like, it's called beginner's luck in trading. You may catch a streak of winning trades. But trust me, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have rules, the market will take your money back. It will take it back. Will be another pullback. Yeah, I mean, this could be a pullback for price to go higher. I mean, it could possibly even, you just never know. I mean, it could be retracing back to filling these imbalances maybe. Maybe wants to take out a low. There's another imbalance down here that kind of needs to get filled. So you kind of see, wait, what happens? Question is, does it fill this imbalance and move higher, or does it take out a low and move higher? You don't know. That's why you have to have, you know, you never know what price is going to do. It very likely could. It could tap this imbalance and move higher. At least some form of buying pressure could step in right there. That's the 200-day EMA, so that's a pretty powerful level that aligns with this bullish gap. Oh, whoa, what's happening? Holy, what's happening? It's almost like you can kind of predict what's going to happen. I also believe we're in a weird state of price action, especially with the president and the impact he has. Yeah. I mean, every president has different, you know, like price action when Biden was president was completely different than price action that it is right now. Biden was a very predictable president. Trump is a very unpredictable president. You never know what he's going to tweet, what he's going to say. So you just never know. But you have to adjust, you know, to the price action. That's why you have to, you know, maybe sometimes it takes maybe making adjustments to your strategy, or, you know, price action is always kind of changing. But as long as you have your strategy and you follow it, right? And then maybe make some minor adjustments in it. But other than that, I mean, that's all you can really do is have a strategy and follow it. And just manage your risk. Like for a lot of people, right? August was a really bad month. August was like, you know, maybe a lot of people lost money in August. And does that mean they're bad traders? No, it's just, it's a part of trading. You're probably going to have losing months. It's just, I mean, it happens. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you don't, you know, as long as you don't lose money every single month, then it becomes an issue. But having maybe a little bit of a loss one month is not a big deal. Businesses have the same thing. Businesses lose money sometimes. possible. Holy. So we got that bounce, but got a very big rejection. I lost 400 in August. It's not bad. 400, depending on your size. I mean, I don't know what kind of size you trade, but that doesn't seem like a bad. Seems like you're managing risk pretty well if you only lost 400. Right, because you kind of never know when that streak is going to come, that great streak of trading, right? Sometimes you go through a little bit of a drought in your strategy, and then there are some times where you're just freaking hammering down every single setup, where you're just taking winning trade after winning trade after winning trade, and you have to capitalize on that time where you're going to make money. And a part of that is being very careful on the losing, like being able to realize that maybe you're in a little bit of a drought, like you're going through a little bit of a losing streak, to minimize those losses so that when you do have those wins, you can really scale. Is how the powerful part of trading. The scalability of trading is pretty crazy when you have a good strategy. And almost like one thing you could possibly do is like when you go through those winning streaks, as you go through a winning streak, as you're building up profit, you can start to scale higher, so that when you're making money, you're making more money. And then when you're going through, say, a losing streak, you're scaling down in size so that your losing streaks become very small and then your winning streaks become very big, because you're sizing up on your winning streaks. And then when you go through a little bit of a losing streak, you're sizing down. So then you have big winning streaks and little losing streaks. But yeah, mastering risk management is like literally the most important thing about trading, because if you don't have any risk management, you can make $1 million. If you don't have risk management, you can lose all that $1 million. So without risk management, trading becomes kind of useless. It's just in essence, it's gambling. That's all it is. It's the same thing as going to a casino and freaking rolling the dice or doing a slot machine or whatever. So see, we gotta bounce off the gap. It tapped into this gap, and we gotta bounce off of it, but right, it just failed to continue. So closed below it. Now we're going lower. We're going for now these lows possibly. We're breaking back inside that five. Look at that. We're breaking back inside the 5-minute range. So interesting to see what happens here. Like, do we break inside the 5-minute range and continue going for these lows down here? Or do we hold this 5-minute range and start moving back up? Why are people bullish? Look at the overall market outlook. I mean, if you look on like even the 60, if you look on the hourly chart, you can kind of see what's happening on the hourly chart. We've been in a downtrend on the hourly chart. Now we're making higher lows. If you see, look at this. Pushed up, right? Higher low, pushed up, higher low, pushed up. This could be another higher low to go higher, possibly. So I can kind of see why people are bullish, but bearish, especially when feds don't cut rates as much as it's predicted in. Yeah, well, it also depends on, like, here's the thing, right? It depends on your strategy. Some people, like for me, I'm a scalper, so the overall, like, you know, the 4-hour chart doesn't really matter to me because I'm scalping, right? Like the first trade I took an entry off crap. Right? My entry was right here. My take profit was these highs. So for me, the overall like 4-hour direction doesn't really matter too much because I'm trading to an internal high, not some kind of like massive move up, and I'm not holding on for multiple days. When you hold on for long term, all that stuff begins to matter. The rate cuts, the freaking this, the that. But because I'm a scalper, all I'm trading is price action. That's all I'm looking at is price action. So we're back inside this range. So we could go for those lows, or at least the bottom of this range. When we start trading back inside that 5-minute range, it starts to kind of get a little, you know, it didn't hold the top of the range. So now we're probably going for these lows. There is some liquidity down here, right? So it did leave behind a bearish gap back inside this very tiny bearish gap, but, you know. I'm actually kind of curious to see what happens here. Now that we pushed back inside this range, will price kind of push back up, tap, fill these imbalances, and then possibly go to these lows? I think it could possibly go for those lows now. It inversed this bullish gap too. If you look to the left, there's a bullish gap that got inversed. So it's not looking too hot for the bulls. After this, I'm gonna hop off. I'm just kind of curious to see what happens here. What I'm predicting is, so far, what I'm predicting is price is going to push up back to this imbalance at least. And then possibly reject off that imbalance and then continue for these lows. But right now, the overall sentiment is for these lows to get hit. As price sits right now. That's what I'm predicting, is for these lows to get taken out. Will it happen? We shall see. Alright, it's pushed up to the... Bro, why is my freaking nose itchy? I think it's the dust. I gotta de-dust this room. That's the one negative about having a shop inside a... Having an office where my shop is, it gets a little dusty in here. Alright. So it tapped into the... There's one imbalance. There was a very tiny imbalance here. Very tiny imbalance there that it filled. Will it fill this top imbalance and go lower, or will it just fill this one and go lower? But I really do think it wants those lows. At least the bottom here of the range. I don't know if it's going to take out all the lows, but at least to this like 391 area. All right, getting a little move up. Let's see if it does it. Pushing up. All right, there it goes. Will it fill that imbalance? All right, we're still in that 5-minute range, so Hasn't filled it yet. Hasn't filled it yet. Come on, fill it. Fill it. All right. Did it fill it? Nope, not yet. There it is. All right, it filled that imbalance. Now the question is, does it fill this imbalance and now move for those lows? As long as you're in this 5-minute range, I think it still wants to go for those lows. If we start breaking back above the 5-minute range, that's when it kind of starts to, you know, see. Technically, if I wanted to take this trade, right, I would have to have a stop above these highs right here. Let me remove this. I'm not taking this trade, but here's the kind of trade prediction, right? I would have entered off this imbalance right here. Stop loss would be above these highs. So I'm just going to mark out like as if I'm taking the trade. I already took a good trade today, so I really do not want to. And then TP would be, let's see. TP would be down, down here. So this line would be TP. So let's see if that, is that a, that's a 10, 20, 30, 45 point move. 45 point move for a 10, 20, 30, 40 point stop. So that's a good risk to reward. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Rejected perfectly off that imbalance. Now let's go for the 390 level. TP would be at 390. Stop loss above the highs up there. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Hold on. Right, so stop loss would be above the highs. TP at these lows down there. You're poor again? What? What are you talking about? I actually am poor. Bro, you don't know how much money I spend per month. I spend a lot of money. My monthly spend is freaking wild. And that's because what's it called? It's because I buy and sell cars. I work on cars. Everything in the car business is in the hundreds of dollars. Nothing is cheap with cars. No part is really cheap. It's usually 150 bucks, 200. So when you have to buy parts and you start spending $200, $300, $400 a day, freaking starts to add up very fast. You end up spending like $6,000 a month just to. Now a lot of the money I spend on like parts and cars, I do get back because it's an investment, but still, it's like it hurts. It hurts. All right, we're pushing up to that. Seeing what happens here. Oh, this is the 1 minute chart. All right, starting to kind of push above that 5 minute range. Is it? Let me see what's going on. Oh, that's view op. It's bouncing off view op. Which is gonna get hit first? Stop loss or TP? All right, rejecting off the 200. So bounce off the view up, rejection off the 200. Uh-oh. If it starts breaking view up again, it's gonna start to look ugly for the bulls. As long as we're above view up, bulls are gonna try to hold it up. And we got view up pretty much right there. Right in this area. Right above this gap right here is view up. Are you in a trade? No, I'm not in a trade. I took a trade. I'm just seeing if this strategy is kind of playing out again, but I'm just curious to see if this if my bias is correct. But I'm not in a trade. I already took a trade this morning. I took a winning trade, so I'm out. I'm protecting my profits, but I'm still looking at this trade to see if it ends up working out or not. Because it is kind of the strategy. Right, so my prediction is it wants to go for the lows down here. And then stop loss. So this first line would be TP. And then stop loss would be above these highs up here. So the top is stop loss, the bottom is TP. Go short. Yeah, I'm short biased. The reason I don't want to go short is because I just want to protect my profits. So for short biased. I think this wants to go for the lows. We're right at the top of that 5-minute range. The first 5 minutes of market open. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. We are right above view op, so they're gonna try to hold it up with view op. IFEG 3-minute. Let me see. Let's see, 3-minute chart. Let's see what's going on. Man, I'm like, yeah, I see it. 3-minute IFEG. So pretty much the bottom of the IFEG is this gap that I have marked out. So yeah, it starts to look ugly if we close below. We still are above, even though close is below this, we would still be above view op. Wait, is it the first one or the second one? Just curious. What the heck? Oh, it's the second one. No, it's the first one. First one. We do have an imbalance here still. Like, it could still pop up and fill this imbalance. Question is, does it fill the imbalance and go lower, or does it go lower without filling the imbalance and then move up to fill that imbalance? Oh snap, we're going lower. Oh boy, the bulls are shivering. It's trying to bounce off view op. Bro, that view op is like the last hope for bulls. If that view op starts to break, if it starts to break these lows, it starts to get real ugly for the bulls. I bet you a lot of people have their stop losses below these lows right here. I can't imagine how many stop losses are below those lows. So here's the thing, if there's a lot of stops below these lows, when this thing flushes, this thing can flush very hard. And that's kind of like a sign when there's a lot of orders and it freaking flushes really hard. Could be a sign that there was a lot of orders there. I mean, you can look on the level 2 or book map to see how many orders are down there. I wish I could see. Does anyone have book map? How many orders are sitting down here right now? I need to figure out how to get level 2 on my chart, because that would help. Shorts are trapped? I don't know. I think shorts are still in play. I think we go for those lows. I think we go for this level down here. There's the drop. We gotta get below that view up. It's gotta get below that view up. Alright, we're below the view up. Oh crap, it's looking very ugly for the bulls. Shorts are in play. There it goes. The bulls need to give up. Just stop trying, bruh. Stop. Give up. Will TP get hit? You're taking forever, though. I think this works, but... Oh, back above you up. Oh my gosh. And... Man, I'm kind of hungry. This price action is making me hungry. Alright. Let's see it. Let's see it. Drop. Drop. Flush. 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 Flush it. There's the low. Flush it. Flush it. Drop it like it's hot. Bro, they need to stop trying. We're below view up. Give up. Like, my question is, who's trying the long right here? Who's trying the long right below view up? It's like, this is not a good area to be long. Bear flag? I don't really see a bear flag. I don't really see a bear flag. Bear flag is more... Do we have one up here? Nah. Uh-oh. Pushing it back up. What about the 2-minute chart? Let me see. 2-minute chart. No. 3-minute chart. 3-minute. No. Oh my gosh. Give up. Unreal. Unfreaking real. This is why I don't like trading after 11. Look at the price action. It's just... Ugh. Ugh. There's some ugh. Alright, pushing it back up. Back into that 200-day EMA. Question is... What are they trying... What's happening? Are we going to take out these highs to move lower, or are we going to break these highs? I mean, there's so much that could happen. Break these highs to go lower, possibly fill this imbalance to go lower, or we start ripping through everything. Still more short biased. I think shorts are still in play. I think it wants those freaking lows. The bulls just need to give up. They're doing too much. Stop losing your money and leave. Sweeps highs, sweeps lows, then goes to the moon. Oh, you think? Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see it sweeping these highs, filling this imbalance, going for the lows, and then rip. That's what it did yesterday, didn't it? Except I don't think it swept the lows completely. Yesterday, it barely, like, it came down to the lows, made kind of a double bottom, and then ripped to the upside. Like there's no tomorrow. Oh my gosh. I need to see this work out, right? So I'm not leaving till something happens. Flush it. Holy crap. All right, now I'll kind of see a bear flag forming. Now is a little bit of a bear flag. Right, because we got that lower high. That lower high was crucial for this kind of like almost bear flag to start to form. Because in order for a bear flag to form, you need this type of thing, right? This is what you kind of need. Right? This is what you need for a bear flag. So when price is kind of in this range, it's making lower highs and it's making higher lows. So that's why it's called a bear flag, because it looks like a flag. So you're getting this like, see here? You're getting this flag start to form. And here you're starting to get lower highs. So, right? So it's starting to be in this kind of flag range. So higher lows, lower highs. And it's kind of flagging and getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until finally it gets to like the corner, and then either it rips to the upside or rips to the downside. Bear flag meaning it possibly could go lower. So bear flag, obviously it's not good for bulls when a bear flag forms. It's not to say a bear flag always works out, but it's just the extra level of confirmation that this probably wants to go lower. So now that we're getting this bear flag, let's see if it... How tight is it going to get before it rips to one direction? Sometimes what I've noticed, right? Sometimes in bear flags and bull flags, sometimes what it likes to do is... A bear flag, for example, a bear flag starts forming. It starts ripping to the upside. It takes out the highs, almost like it's breaking out of the bear flag and starting to rip up to the upside. And then it ends up taking out a high, like this kind of a high, takes out a high, and then flushes to the downside. It almost like it fakes people out to thinking that we're ripping, and then it just flushes. Same thing with a bull flag. I've seen it happen where a bull flag will start to form, say up here, like something like this will start to form up here. It rips down, it takes out the low, and then it rips to the upside. But you can see how tight it's starting to get? See how price action started out wide and now it's starting to kind of get tighter and tighter into like the corner of this flag. So I think we're flush. We're gonna flush. But when are we gonna flush? You don't know. Take out those lows. Come on. You know you want to. All this juicy liquidity. All these lows. Look at all these lows down here. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful low. Beautiful low. All these lows down here just are waiting to get freaking taken out. Whereas dust is making me. Come on. After the TP gets hit, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna log off. Come on, flush it. Bro, it's just like, can't get out of this flag. Will it break these lows? Come on. Break it. Break it. Dump it. Dump it. There it goes. No, do not push it back up. Could be retesting the bottom of that flag. Let's see. Took out these lows. Still hasn't taken out the lows. Holy crap, it's pushing back into the range. There, come on! Stop with this BS. This freaking... Just take out the level. What the flip, dude? Anxiety. Anxiety! People trying me. This market's trying me. Why can't price just like, if it wants to take out a low, why can't it just flush, take out the low, and then rip back up? Why does it have to do this like sideways crap before it actually takes out a level? I need some coffee. Oh yeah, I need more coffee. I already had coffee. I need more caffeine. I need a Celsius. A Celsius mixed with some coffee. Mixed with a bang. Pushing back into the flag. This is NASDAQ. Be prepared for NASDAQ to flush for the lows. Give it to me. I was right, and I just can't. Oh, come on. Like, when are the bulls just gonna give up so we can just flush this? People just keep trying to buy it. Are you funded? Yes. I have 10 funded accounts. I'm trying to get 7 more evaluation accounts passed. I should be able to get those evaluations passed fairly quickly. I need to get to 3,000. I'm up. I made 500 today per account across 7 accounts. Bro, if I can have 17 funded accounts, you can never have enough accounts. More accounts. I need to make $1 million a day. I need to get to Ken Griffin status. If anybody who know who Ken Griffin is, he's an OG. He's a baller. That's a baller that he comes into your city and he rents out the whole freaking hotel. Dude's balling out of his mind. Dude has so much money. During COVID, he had cleared over like billions of dollars in 1 year of like personal profit, which is freaking wild. To do in 1 year, you can do the math on how much per day he was making. Flush it. Already. So we can move on with our lives. All right. Stop messing with me. Stop it. Let's push it lower. If this pushes back up, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm looking for 390. 390. 10 points away. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Bruh. $390, come on. So close, so close. And we're below that flag now, right? We're below that flag. See, he's holding the bottom of that flag as resistance now. Oh my gosh. Dude, this This is why price action after 11 o'clock. Like if this was 9:45, it would have already hit that freaking TP. But because this is like what, 12 o'clock, this is what you get. This is what you get for trading at 12 o'clock. All the OGs went to lunch, and you're left with sideways movement. Oh my gosh, can somebody give me some coffee? Somebody mentioned coffee, now I want coffee. Just flush it already. Please, 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 please. Still below that view op. Below the view op. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Starting to push right above view op. This is freaking so. This price action is. Now, is it? This is why you don't trade after 11. So we're above view up. Now we're still. Oh my gosh. This is like watching paint dry. I'd rather watch paint dry than this.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
All right, I think I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna come back later to see what happens. I need to get to work. I'm gonna hop off later to see what ends up happening, but yeah. All right. Almost been on for 3 hours already. So W day. Made $500 across 7 accounts, so it's a good start to these accounts. But I will see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow again, 9:30. So if you want to stop by, I'll be here. But have a good day. Don't overtrade. Now it's starting to drop. Don't overtrade. Hold on. It's dropping. Yeah, whatever. I'll look back later. Yeah. So have a good day. Don't overtrade. Don't, protect your profits if you have them. And, yeah, have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace out.